Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the Cawthron Center for Career Readiness here at Mars Hill University. I'm Jimmy Knight, and we are continuing our focus on recent graduates who are doing really fun and fabulous things out in either the world of work or academia. And today I am pleased to be joined by Heather Styles-Turbyfill, and she is a member of the class of 2016, so not too long ago. She was prowling around here, and I remember her when she was here. And hi, Heather. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you taking the time. Would
Yeah, of
you?
course. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Would you fill us in just a little bit about where you're from and how you found your way to Mars Hill, and how it is that you came to major in psychology, art therapy, and with a minor in studio art?
Yeah. So I'm originally from Bryson City, North Carolina, so about an hour and a half away from the Mars Hill, Asheville area. I originally chose Mars Hill. My now husband and I were dating at the time, and we both kind of collaborated on that decision to decide where we both wanted to go. Got to Mars Hill, came in undecided as far as what I wanted to major in. Really had no idea. And then I took my first fall semester, just my general psychology class. Really loved it, fell in love with the material, found it super interesting. It just really clicked. And I figured, yeah, that's definitely what I want to do. Kept going with that. The art therapy program was still kind of early in development, so that opportunity came up. And I thought, that's psychology. I also really like art. Why don't I do that too? So decided to double major there, and then just had a few more classes to fill in for a studio art minor. So yeah, everything just kind of fell into place.
Awesome. So what are you working on right now? Where are you, and what's the immediate goal for you at the moment?
Yeah. So right now, I'm currently at Western Carolina University in the first cohort with the PsyD doctoral program. So this summer, I've been working on taking a couple summer classes, having just wrapped up my first year of coursework there. And also over the summer and during last semester, I've been working with the Heights program as part of my graduate assistantship as a clinical youth specialist.
And could you fill us in just a little bit for those who may not know what the PsyD program is, what
Mhm.
that's going to give you at the end of everything?
Yeah, so it's the equivalent. It's a doctorate program in psychology, but instead of having a super heavy research academic focus like a PhD program, it's more applied. So think of the PhD program being more kind of like a trackway towards becoming a professor, becoming more research focused, and then the PsyD is more applied, so wanting to practice.
And in terms of like a 3, 5, 10-year plan, where do you hope to be with your background in psychology, art therapy, and this current program that you're going through?
So I'm thinking hopefully, let's see, in about 3 years or so, I'm hoping to wrap up the my PsyD doctorate. And after that, I'm hoping to work within somewhere within ideally this rural area, working with kids, adolescents, teenagers, and families, doing therapy services and also psychological assessments.
That's very admirable and greatly needed in the
Mhm.
region. When you go to school at Mars Hill, you sort of see it firsthand. If you spend any time out and around the campus at all, you see a lot of rural areas that may not get a lot of the services that that some other areas might get. So that's really really cool. I like that. So
Yeah, thanks.
in your day-to-day activities right now in your school, what's like a what's a typical day like in terms of preparing for what it is that you're going to be doing?
Yeah, so this summer, like I said, I've got a couple classes that I'm taking online. So I usually do my work for those. We typically meet in the evening over the computer. And during the day, I'm typically doing my work with heights. So that involves either, I've done a lot of telehealth therapy sessions with kids and families in light of the COVID pandemic. I've also done some home visits and a little bit of that, and we're starting to explore some options for summer programming with heights. Again, trying to stay on top of all the safety protocols and kind of taking that as we go.
Yeah, now's an interesting time to be reaching out to people, because sometimes people don't want to be reached out to so much. So
Yeah, I've definitely become much better at telehealth and all the Zoom and Google Meets and all that good stuff.
So when you were at Mars Hill and you were considering grad school, what was that process like in terms of doing research? Who had the biggest impact on you in terms of the feeling prepared to go down that path?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so during my undergrad at Mars Hill, I actually worked really closely with Dr. Kwiatkowski. She was super influential and really helpful as far as helping me specifically with the research aspect. So she really worked with me with my senior seminar project, which was in conjunction with my internship experience with Arts for Life at the time. She really worked with me to make that research and that experience a publishable paper. So we worked together, and she, worked with me even the summer after I graduated to coordinate that and make that happen. And that was huge in, adding to my resume and my CV, and, really, my first kind of step into the door of, this higher education component and this, research component within academia. And that was awesome, and super helpful for getting into grad school.
And the transition, did you find that to be an easier transition than you had imagined?
I think so. So I was out of school. I graduated and then took a year off before going into my master's program at Western. And I was expecting to be a little bit rusty as far as schoolwork and, classwork and all that good stuff. But it actually came back a lot quicker than I thought it would, which was very good.
Awesome. Yeah, if you have Jonna K for anything, your brain is well exercised. So
oh yeah.
she has helped me quite a bit recently, and I see now just what it means to be a true professional educator. She opened my eyes to a lot of things. We have a lot of fantastic faculty here, as you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
So let's ask you this. Let me ask you this one really kind of cool question as we're starting to wrap up. If you today had the ability to give advice to the 17, 18-year-old you when you started school, what would you say to yourself? And I ask this in regards to what kind of advice would you give freshmen and sophomores today?
Mm-hmm. Probably two big things. So the first thing, specifically talking to past me, I would definitely tell myself to be patient. Coming in as a freshman, and even as a sophomore to Mars Hill, I really wanted to have everything figured out and planned out. And I thought I did, but that's definitely not what ended up happening. In my opinion, I feel like, the opportunities that I've gotten now have been much better than I originally planned for. So I tell myself to, maybe cool down a little bit, be willing to wait around. And then the second thing is just to, I've gotten advice before just to be, be a sponge and try and soak up every bit you can from every experience, particularly educational experiences that you can get. Even if going into them, you don't think, they're really going to have any effect on you, you'll definitely be surprised. I know, that's how I fell into my field, going in with an open mind to, these classes I didn't know anything about. And, it's been really helpful for me just trying to take in all the information I can and ask as many questions as I can. Yeah.
That's terrific advice, because what we really harp on is that college is what you make of it. If you grab a hold of it and you say, this is my school and this is my education and I'm going to make the most of it, chances are the doors of your mind are going to be open in all kinds of directions. And that's the first and foremost thing that anyone needs in terms of deciding what it is they're going to do today or tomorrow, or be able to be flexible enough to change and pivot to something new if the job market or some psychological or spiritual demand mandates that. So
Yeah.
that's a great set of two pieces of advice there that I really appreciate you saying that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let you go, and
Okay.
but if you'll stay on the line with me just for a second here after we stop the recording. Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing your story with us, and I'm sure that it's going to help someone somewhere to keep that open mind and to explore the options of things that we offer here at the school. So thank you, Heather.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.